Hello students, good morning to all of you. Students, in today's class, we are going to learn about the condition of zero resultant and Lemmy's theorem and the important fact about the two. Okay, so first we have condition for zero resultant. Now first we understood about how we get the resultant. Suppose for a triangle, as you learn in the triangle law, we have triangle P, Q and R. Okay, and we learned that if a vector A is acting along PQ and the another vector B is acting along QR, then its resultant is given by R is equal to vector A plus vector B. This is how we get the result. Okay. Now, how we get the zero resultant? So, for getting the zero resultant, if we redraw the vector B from Q in the backward direction like that with the same magnitude, then if the length of Q to R is equal to length of Q to R dash, okay, then we use the negative B for Q R dash by the property of negative vector, okay, or the negative equal vector. If the two vectors having the same magnitude but acting along the opposite direction at the same point, then the two vectors are called negative vectors. So here we get the negative vector of B. Now, here we know that if the two vectors acting from P to Q and Q to R dash taken in one order, then we get the resultant of the two by joining the tail of vector A to the head of vector B. Then this we get the resultant of vector A and vector minus B. And according to the triangle law of addition, we get this is equal to vector A plus minus vector B. Okay, then we get this is equal to vector A minus vector B. This is how we subtract the two vectors as we learned in the previous class. So this is about the concept of subtracting the vector. Now we come to this point, getting the zero resultant. Okay, suppose we have a triangle, let's say P Q R. Okay, and as the two vectors, vector A and another is vector B, is acting in same order and the resultant is taken in the opposite order. This is, let's say, vector R. Then we find the resultant. This R is equal to vector A plus vector B. Okay. Now, if we are taking the resultant again in the same direction, that is vector A along PQ, vector B along QR and vector R for resultant along QR, which means if all the three vectors acting on a particle in the same direction along the side of triangle, then we get this resultant is equal to minus R is equal to minus vector A plus vector B. Why it is negative? Because as in the triangle law, the resultant acting in the opposite order. Okay, but we are taking the direction of resultant in opposite direction. That means for the triangle case, the direction of resultant is from P to Q, and here we are taking the triangle of direction of resultant from R to P. That means this R is negative as per vector flow. Then when we join the two, that is net net resultant vector. So net resultant vector is from first P to R, and then from R to P, this, and we have the two values is vector R and minus vector. Okay, this we get vector A plus B as per triangle law, and by using the same order, minus vector A plus minus B. Okay, this is equal to 0. This is the condition of zero resultant vector. That is, when the three vectors acting along the side of triangle taken in one order, we get the resultant of the three is 0. Write the statement. If three vectors acting along the side of triangle, vector A, vector B and vector C, acting along the side of triangle, vector A, vector B and vector C, this R is equal to vector C. Okay, taken in one order, then the resultant of the three vector is always 0. Then the resultant of the three vector is always 0. This is called condition for zero resultant vector. Okay, next point लिखिए. As a known, right? If three vectors acting on a particle or a point, if three vectors acting on a particle or a point, and the resultant is 0, or we can say the effect of the three is 0. Okay, the resultant is 0. Then the three vectors are called equivariant vector. Vectors, and the condition is called equilibrium, or they are called in equilibrium. Okay, they are called in equilibrium. Okay, now let me understood about how the two or three vectors are in equilibrium. For example, we have two opposite poles. Let's say A, B and P, Q. Okay, and a thread is bound over the top end of the two. Okay, and we hang or loop at the center of the rope. Okay, then let's say the mass of this body is m, then its weight working downward by value m. Okay, and after some time we observe that from this point A and P, this will be stretched by the load and moved on like that. Now it is formed in such a way. This I will form you again. See. This. After hanging the particle at the center, you observe this situation. This work is acting downward. W is equal to mg. Okay, and we observe here the rope get tension or stretch. Due to this stretch, in the molecules of this rope, tension appear after stretching by this rope. Okay, let's say this is at P1 and this is P at the rope because it is bind over the 2 and A and P. Okay. Now we find as the load is hanged and left free, then the rope is stretched. After certain depression, we find there is no movement, which means at this point, let's say this point is O, the three forces at rest. Okay, which means now there is no depression or no impression. ना तो वो नीचे जा रही है और ना ही वो ऊपर जा रही है. Then we find the two tension appeared in the stretchy rock. One is T1 and another is T2. Overcome this weight, which means counter this weight, and we observe the motion of this rock towards down is stopped. When the body which is moving down due to the acceleration due to gravity is stopped, the three situations or three force acting on it, T1, T2 and weight of this body is known as in equilibrium. Okay, now we say tension is like a force, weight is another force, so we say at O for the particular situation is G. This force at O is called net force. This is equal to 0 after a certain depression. Okay. Then we say the three vectors acting, vector OA, vector OP and vector OW in the equilibrium, and the vector are known as equilibrium vector, and because this force is 0 net force, so this is also known as condition of 0 resultant. Okay, now for this we have a theorem that is named as Lemmy's theorem. Just write it. Lemmy's theorem. Okay, 1 minute. When we get this situation from this triangle, again I will form this. Then the vector acting with the side of triangle is always in the proportion. That means vector A is proportional to the side P for the condition of zero resultant. Then from here you will get that vector A is equal to K PQ. Okay, this K is proportional to constant. Therefore, you can easily calculate this vector A upon PQ equal to K. This is, let's say, equation 1. Similarly, you will get that vector B upon QR is equal to K. Let's say second. And vector R is equal to vector C. So vector C is RP, or either you can say PR is equal to K. This is your equation 3. Okay. Now, because all the three equations have K at RHS, we compare all three and we get the condition of resultant 0 is A upon PQ, vector B upon QR, and vector C upon PR. If we took here RP, okay, now 1 minute. Yes, if we took here RP, then we discuss about in the same direction. RP ही यूज करो, ठीक है, because we get this result for the same direction. So we are moving in PQ, QR and RP. This is the condition of zero resultant. And if we took here P to R, then we get the result. ठीक है. So what इसको फॉर्म कीजिए by this equation. Forming. Done? Okay. Now, from the same triangle, let's say this is a point inside the triangle. Okay. Now join P to O, Q to O, and R to O, and vector along the point. Let's say vector A acting at P, vector B acting at B, and vector C acting at R. Okay. Now took the three vectors on the other side. This is Levy's theorem statement. First we understood by the diagram. One vector working downward, another vector working from this point toward left vertical direction, and this vector is working towards right vertical direction. Okay. Let's say this vector is A, this vector B, and this vector C as we taken in the triangle. Okay. Now, if the angle between the two vectors B and C is alpha, Okay, and the angle between C and A is beta, and the angle between A and B is gamma. Okay, now according to Levy's theorem, for forces or three vectors or vector acting on a single point, all the three vector acting at this point O, either like that or either down, and this one is in vertical direction. Okay, then if the three force vector acting at a single point, then every vector is proportional to the sine of angle between two opposite vector or between the two vectors. For example, vector A is proportional to sine of angle of opposite two angle, that means sine alpha. Okay, then from here you will get A is equal to K sine alpha, and from here you will calculate that vector A upon sine alpha equal to K. Then similarly you can find that vector B upon angle between the opposite two vectors, that is sine beta equal to K, and vector C upon sine gamma equal to K. Now again you will find the all three ratio equal to K. You compare this now. A upon sine alpha equal to B upon sine beta and C upon sine gamma. This is tells us the Levy's theorem. Just write the statement. It states that if three forces acting at a point, in equilibrium, then each force is proportional to the sine of angle between the other two vectors, or you can say other two forces. So A angle between other two forces, B angle between other two forces, and C angle between other two forces. And the theorem says that first force is proportional to the sine of angle between other two forces. Similarly, we derive this. Just like done. Right. Condition for equilibrium of an object. Condition for equilibrium of an object. We have three situations. Right, first, there is no linear motion of the object. First situation क्या है? If the object is at rest, which means it has no linear motion. That is, resultant force on the object is zero. Which we discussed with the example. Next, there is no rotational motion of the object. There is no rotational motion of the object. That is, the torque due to force on the object is 0. The torque due to force on the object is 0. And last condition is there is minimum potential energy. There is minimum potential energy of the object for stable equilibrium. Of the object for stable equilibrium. Okay. These are the condition of equilibrium of two or more forces. Okay. And it is clear to you the equilibrium vector. दिखाने की जरूरत नहीं है. Thank you. Okay. Now we have the next topic is rectangular component of a vector in a plane. First we understood about the plane. We have a Cartesian system. Cartesian system. Okay, to locate or represent the position of a particle in this. The Cartesian system, we have the two types. One is in a plane. This is in a plane, or you can say in a space. In a plane and in a space. Okay. When we discuss about plane, so we are discussing in 2D. 2D for two-dimensional. And when we discuss about the space, then it is 3D or 3-dimensional. Okay. Now, so when we discuss in a plane, so we have a axis like that. X, x dash, y dash, intersecting each other at O, which is point of origin. Okay. And when we discuss the particle in the space, then we have the three-axis system: x, x dash, y dash, z dash, incline on each other at 90. For example, suppose we have, on the basis of these, I will just explain you. This is a 2D determination of the Cartesian plane, and when we using this, then it is like that. Okay. In all the situations we find it is 9. Okay. So if we discussing in the 2D space, we get the rectangular component, and if we discussing in 3D space, then it is again the rectangular component, but it will be, or it is calculated by using a keyboard. Okay, or we can say the parallelepiped. Okay, now this. Let's say the two vectors acting along a point O in direction OA and OB. This is vector B. Okay. Now the rectangular component of a vector in a plane, or you can say resolution of vector in rectangular component, is basically the getting the effect of the vector in the two axes, x-axis or along y-axis. Okay, so basically if we discuss about this vector only OB, then we want the effect of this vector OB along x-axis and along y-axis. Okay, so we need to split this vector in two directions, which means one along x-axis and another along y-axis. For splitting it into the x direction or y direction, first we need to draw a perpendicular from point this B on x-axis and on y-axis. Okay, then the direction unit vector acting along x-axis is I cap, and the direction unit vector acting along y-axis is j cap. Now we understood about the fact in the another situation with this code. This is your x-axis, this is your y-axis. Okay, and a particle is at P, and we want to find the effect of this particle along x or along y-axis. So first we need to join this from the origin. So this you will get OP. This OP is called position vector. Position vector. Now we want the effect of this position vector along x-axis and along y-axis. As you know that x-axis is called horizontal axis. Horizontal axis of this Cartesian system, and y dash is called vertical axis. Okay, now if we draw a perpendicular from here on x-axis, let's say it meet on x-axis at point A, and when we measure the distance from origin to this point A, we get this distance is equal to x. Then we say the coordinate of this point A is x, g. Okay, and when we draw a perpendicular from this point P to this, then after measuring from O to this point B, we get the distance on the vertical axis is y. Okay, and because these two lines are parallel to each other, so we can say that OAPB is a rectangle. Clear? Now we can use this y here also, because opposite sides of rectangle are equal. Now we observe that this OP is inclined with x-axis at angle theta. Okay, and because these two lines, let's say PB parallel to OA, then this angle is again theta because of alternate interior situation. इसको अभी मिस करिए, इसका रिक्वायरमेंट फिलहाल नहीं है, but I will just tell you about if you are calculating the horizontal or vertical component by using this triangle or by using this triangle, you can calculate it. Now we are discussing about this one. Okay, when we discussing about the effect of this position vector along x-axis, we say let's say this vector is equal to r. Then we can say that the effect of R along x-axis. Effect of vector R along x-axis. Okay, then it is given by Rx, and how much is the length covered it is equal to x. Okay, then when we discuss about this, so effect of R along y-axis, then we observe this, that Ry is equal to y. Okay, now we find the combined effect of it by using rectangular components. First, see, as the previous value, this we have y, this we have x, and this is r. This is acting like that, and this is opposite order. आपको क्या मिलेगा? That r resultant from the triangle O is equal to x plus y. Clear? ठीक है? Now x is in direction of x-axis, and the unit vector in direction of x-axis is I cap, and y-axis is j cap. So this is the value of position vector. Okay, so this you will get it from here, position vector. Okay, now so I will just tell you or ask you the two things about the maximum effect of this R along x-axis and maximum effect along the R along this y-axis. You just tell me the values. Maximum, we are discussing about the maximum effect of vector R. First is along x-axis. Okay, for this we have two situations. First, either we can use Rx is vector R cos theta, or by Rx is vector R sin theta. Okay, first situation is this, and another. Second is maximum effect of vector R along y-axis. Okay, then again we have two situations, that Ry is R sin cos theta, or Ry is R sin theta. Okay, let me clear you what is this theta. Okay, when we discuss about the x-axis, then this theta is, let's say this is vector A, and again this is vector B. So this theta is 90 degree. For first case, 1 minute. For case 1, theta is how much? 0 degree. Which means this R is also acting along x-axis. Okay? And for this situation, this is your x-axis, this is your y-axis. Initially the R is acting along this P, and we want to get the effect along this. So this is now on. So in this situation we have theta is equal to 90 डिग्री, ठीक है। अब आपके पास यहाँ पे साइन थीटा 0 डिग्री इज 0, cos 0 डिग्री इज 1, sin 90 डिग्री इज 1 and cos 90 degree is 0. Okay, now when we discussing about horizontal component, which means Rx, then you will get the value for r cos theta or r sin theta. किसके लिए वैल्यू मिलेगी? This means that this is cos 0 degree now and this is sin 0 degree now. Now tell me Rx r cos 0 वैल्यू देगा और Rx r sin 0 वैल्यू देगा। cos 0 is 1 and sin 0 is 0, ठीक है। तो वैल्यू कहाँ मिली? cos, ठीक है। तो ये वाला जो आपका बनता है tan थीटा along r is called horizontal component. This I will write here. ठीक है। From this observation we find that Rx equal to r cos theta and it is called horizontal component. Of vector r. Understood? Similarly, ry sin theta or ry r cos theta, where you will get in the value along y axis when you are using sin. Okay? So this will be 0 and this will be r. Clear? Therefore, you will get here vertical component. How much is ry is equal to r sin theta. ठीक है। Now let's say this is equation first and this is equation second. Clear? Now just note it. I will directly say you when we resolve this vector OB along x-axis and y-axis, then we get horizontal component along x-axis and vertical component along y-axis. तो डायरेक्ट मैं आपको ये वैल्यू बता दूँ, ठीक है। तो आप हमेशा कंफ्यूज रहते कि why sin theta is not taken. So here I will just tell you or explain you why we are using for horizontal component cos theta and for vertical component sin theta, because in horizontal component sin theta is 0 and for vertical component cos theta is 0. ठीक है। तो ये एक्सप्लेनेशन करने के लिए इतना सारा कुछ किया, ठीक है। अंडरस्टूड हो गया? नाउ इरेज करें। Because it is like a triangle, पहले लोग आपको लिखा है, तो हमें रिजल्टेंट r की वैल्यू कितनी आनी चाहिए? x स्क्वायर प्लस y स्क्वायर। From our figure, this just I will tell you, this Rx from figure distance travelled in along x-axis is equal to x आया था, this and ry is equal to how much? Is 1. इसको अभी कंटिन्यू करें, ठीक है। नाउ फर्स्ट सिचुएशन, on squaring equation first and second and then add. On adding equation first and second after squaring, आफ्टर स्क्वायर क्या मिलेगा, फ्रॉम देगा आर एक्स स्क्वायर प्लस आर वाई स्क्वायर इक्वल टू हाउ मच इज आर स्क्वायर साइन स्क्वायर थीटा प्लस आर स्क्वायर कोस स्क्वायर थीटा। अंडरस्टूड? इसका स्क्वायर आर एक्स स्क्वायर इक्वल टू आर स्क्वायर कोस स्क्वायर थीटा एंड आर वाई स्क्वायर इक्वल टू आर स्क्वायर साइन स्क्वायर थीटा। हियर वी आर here. Now r is common, r square is common in both the term. We get sin square theta plus cos square theta is equal to rx is equal to how much? पहले हम rx के फॉर्म में लिखेंगे and r square. This will become 1. So you will getting the r square is equal to rx square plus r square. So easily you can find that r is equal to under root rx square plus r square. ठीक है? Then put the value of rx and ry. So this you will get x square plus y square. This is the value of r for this position vector. And now calculate from here. If this is vector a, let's say vector x, and this is vector y, then you will get the same result from the triangle. Okay. And second situation. Divide equation second by 1. Equation second divide by 1. ओके क्या मिलेगा? सो आंसर इज आर साइन थीटा अपॉन आर कॉस थीटा इक्वल टू आर वाई अपॉन आर एक्स. नाउ हियर आर इज कैंसिल्ड फ्रॉम न्यूमरेटर टू डिनोमिनेटर एंड साइन थीटा अपॉन कॉस थीटा इज tan थीटा. सो दिस tan थीटा इज इक्वल टू आर वाई अपॉन okay, and this you have calculated that y upon x, that is theta is equal to tan inverse y upon x. This is the direction of this resultant theta with the x-axis. Okay, now I think you can easily understood about the rectangular component of the vector after splitting. So just write okay. When a vector in a plane is split into two component vectors at right angle to each other. This we have vector okay OB, and we want to split it along x-axis and along y-axis, normal to each other. ठीक है? Then the component vectors are called rectangular component of the vector. Okay, this is the resultant of the rectangular component and this is the direction of the resultant component. Understood? Next देखिए rectangular component of a vector in three-dimensional space, 3D. Rectangular component of the vector in 3D. So you can form for this x-axis, y-axis and z-axis with both. Okay, now form a cuboid. This you will get a cuboid, and the vector is here at point P. Okay, along this. Again the same method, ये आपको previous class में भी कराया, और join this. Okay. So we can say this is AX, this is AY, and this value is AZ. Okay. So for this vector, let's say vector P is a position vector. Okay. We can see this, or we can say vector A directly. So this vector A is given by in the rectangular in the 3D space as AX I cap, AY j cap, and AZ k cap. Or as similar or simplest form, this vector A is X I cap, Y j cap, and Z k. That means AX is equal to X, which means distance measured on x-axis. AY is equal to Y, distance measured on y-axis, and AZ is equal to Z as distance measured along z-axis. Okay. Now this we have the vector. Component similar variety. So for this we get this vector A, that is modulus of this vector A is equal to under root x square plus y square plus z, as we discussed in the rectangular form. Okay. Now, direction of resultant. Direction of resultant, we are using here the direction cosine. Okay. Direction cosine. Direction cosine is AX upon vector A is equal to cos alpha. Okay. AY upon vector A is equal to cos beta. If this is alpha, this is beta, and this is gamma, then we have discussed about direction. And AZ upon A equal to cos gamma. Okay. Now when we add all the three, we get by squaring x square cos alpha cos square beta plus cos square gamma. This we get this square this square and we get the same result is equal to 1. This value is called L, this value is called M, and this value is called N. So you can use here in place of cos alpha L square, in place of cos beta M square, in place of cos gamma N square. This is equal to 1, and this is called the relation between the direction cosine in the 3D or 3 dimension. Okay, thank you.